This boss fell madly in love with her gateman, and then the unbelievable happened. You want to know what it is? Watch till the end. Let's find out together. Hey guys, welcome to today's amazing movie that will leave you at the edge of your seat. But before we dive in, don't rush. Grab a snack to keep you focused and click that subscribe button for more amazing movies from us. The movie begins with a young man, a gateman, at his duty post. He was feeling pressed and wanted to use the bathroom, but feared his boss would be mad at him if he left his post. So he decided to open the gate wide so his boss could drive out in his absence. Little did he know he had just committed the worst offense ever. Later, when his boss, Miss Eniola, came out, she was furious to see the gate wide open. She immediately called for the gateman and fired him on the spot, without even considering his reason. She promised to pay him his salary and asked one of her maids, Charity, not to let him in again before driving off. A few hours later, the gateman packed his things to leave while the housemaids sympathized with him. They shared their fears about who might be next because, in just 5 months, their boss had fired more than 10 staff members, even for minor mistakes. Still, they admitted she paid them well and gave good severance packages. They all returned to their duties, careful not to make any errors. The next day, a young, handsome man named Sam parked his car and called his friend, informing him that he had arrived at the given address. After the call, he picked up his luggage and left his car behind. Meanwhile, Miss Eniola came downstairs and asked her coffee maker, BC, if anyone had come for the gateman interview. Just as BC replied no, a knock interrupted, and she went to open the door. To her surprise, it was the same young man, Sam. He entered confidently and sat down, ordering BC to call her boss for him. Eniola, shocked by his boldness, thinking he had come for the interview, scolded him for sitting. She mocked him, calling him poor but proud, before finally giving him the job. Sam said nothing. He decided to play along, accepting the job despite the humiliation before heading to his assigned room. In the boys' quarters, Sam was still perplexed by all that happened earlier. He couldn't believe what he had just done and scolded himself, but decided to stay. Then his friend called and he explained everything, asking him to come pick up his car. His friend was surprised and confused by his decision. Later that day, Sam resumed duty, washing his boss's car when Eniola's best friend Yvonne arrived. She was immediately blown away by how handsome Sam looked. They exchanged greetings, and Yvonne couldn't hide her surprise that someone like him was a gateman. On her way in, she almost slipped, feeling embarrassed. Inside, Yvonne couldn't contain her excitement as she expressed her admiration for Sam, leaving Eniola disappointed and unimpressed. Yvonne got upset at her friend's reaction and went to pour herself a glass of wine. That night, Eniola went to make some coffee for herself because BC was nowhere to be found. Just then, BC rushed in trembling. She had gone to visit a friend and returned late. Eniola, unable to tolerate her incompetence, fired her on the spot without a second thought. BC cried and begged on her knees, but Eniola transferred her salary and even added a severance fee before heading to her room. BC continued to plead to at least spend the night, but Eniola bluntly refused, insisting she leave that very night. Later, BC carried her bag to leave as Charity escorted her out. Sam, hearing what happened, offered to let BC spend the night in his BQ. Immediately, Eniola overheard and threw a bundle of 100,000 at BC, insisting she get a hotel room instead. She warned Sam that if he tried anything funny, she would fire him too. Sam let BC go to book a hotel room. The next day, tragedy struck. BC was found lying lifeless on the road as people gathered around in shock. Joy, one of her colleagues, was on her way to work when she saw BC's body and screamed her name. The police arrived, questioning Joy since she knew the deceased, and she gave them all the information she could, trembling in fear. Soon after, Joy and the police arrived at Eniola's house to arrest her for BC's death. Everyone was shocked. Charity, enraged and paranoid, blamed Eniola for BC's death, saying it was her fault for sending her out at night. Charity fearlessly confronted Eniola, even going physical, before the police intervened and took Eniola away. On her way out, Eniola instructed her assistant to inform her lawyer, which she did. Everyone in the house was left confused and trembling. That night at the station, Eniola's lawyer delivered the heartbreaking news. The case would be taken to court, and she had been charged with manslaughter by negligence. Eniola was speechless. Her world seemed to crumble before her eyes. Days later in court, Charity was called to testify against her boss. Hurt and angry, she spoke harshly about Eniola's behavior and how she constantly fired her staff for little mistakes, shocking everyone. However, she also admitted that Eniola paid them well and gave generous severance packages. Anyone who worked for her for 3 months got 3 times their salary, and for 2 months, twice their salary. Eniola's lawyer used those facts to help the judge see that his client was not a wicked woman, but perhaps a strict one, not guilty of murder. The next day, still at the court, Eniola herself was brought in to testify. She confessed that she didn't allow BC to stay back that night because she was trying to protect her. Such an incident had happened before. In this whole case, guys, what do you think? Do you believe Eniola will be found guilty or innocent of BC's death? Put your answers in the comment section. Let's discuss. Now, let's continue. It was recorded that when BC was fired, it was only around 9 p.m., still early enough for her to get a hotel within the estate, especially with the 100,000 cash given to her, aside from her severance pay. Even her gateman testified to this and mentioned that BC had been sneaking out of work to visit a friend. That wasn't the first time, leaving everyone thinking and wondering what would happen next. A few hours later, the judge privately met with Eniola and her lawyer. There, he advised her briefly on how to handle her staff better, and then gave her a strict order. She must not fire any staff for the next 3 months, or she would go to jail. The warning left Eniola frightened. The following day, a panicking Eniola shared her concerns with Yvonne, saying she might fail because she couldn't tolerate incompetence from any staff. Yvonne encouraged her to control her temper whenever they made mistakes. Unbeknownst to them, Charity was eavesdropping on their conversation. She overheard everything, left shocked but secretly excited, and ran off to share the good news with Joy. She told Joy this was the perfect time to take revenge for BC's death. Joy was shocked and afraid. She couldn't believe what she was hearing. Shortly after, Yvonne met with Sam outside and struck a deal with him, $5 million, to make Eniola fire him so she could go to jail. Sam reluctantly accepted the deal, and Yvonne immediately transferred half of the money to show she meant business. Days later, as Eniola was leaving for work, she was shocked to find her living room scattered and littered. She immediately called out for Joy and Charity, but Charity fearlessly shouted back, telling her to clean it up herself. Eniola, shocked and confused, fired Charity immediately. But Charity wasn't surprised. She gladly went to pack her things while Eniola stood there devastated and helpless. Moments later, Eniola called her back politely and told her to stay, thinking she was just still angry over BC's death. She decided to give her more time to get over it before walking away in frustration. Charity, on the other hand, scolded Joy for acting nice to Eniola when they were supposed to be seeking revenge, then stormed off, leaving Joy in shock as she quietly cleaned the room. That same day, Sam finally met up with the friend he was supposed to see earlier. He explained that he took the Gateman job because he wanted to prove to Eniola that people shouldn't be looked down on. He also confessed how he accepted the money from her friend to make his boss fire him, leaving his friend speechless and surprised. They continued their conversation before parting ways. Later that day, when Eniola returned from work, Joy told her that Sam had stepped out with the gate keys, and she didn't know where he went. Already frustrated with everything happening, Eniola ordered that Sam be fired immediately and went inside, grumbling in anger. That night, Sam returned home nonchalantly. Eniola, furious, scolded him harshly and chased him out of her house, feeling disrespected and helpless. Guys, for real, can anyone tolerate this kind of nonchalant behavior from their staff? I bet no one would even last a week or two with such attitudes. Let me know what you think in the comments section. The following day, Eniola was about to drive out when she was shocked and irritated to see her compound filthy. When she confronted Sam, he boldly told her to stop shouting and talk like a human being, leaving her even more frustrated and devastated. Guys, it seems she can't handle this anymore, but let's see how it ends. Later that evening, when she returned home, she found her gate wide open. Sam had gone to use the restroom and was unapologetic about it, leaving Eniola completely helpless and frustrated. A week later, Eniola confessed her frustrations to Yvonne, saying she was tired of everything. Yvonne advised her to get rid of anyone who disrespected her, reminding her of the power she carried. Feeling relieved, Eniola believed her friend was truly on her side, not knowing she was completely alone in her ordeal. One fateful day, Eniola was shocked to find Sam eating her food at her dining table. When she raised her voice at him, Sam stood his ground and talked back to her. Confused and angry, she fired him instantly, but Sam remained unbothered, reminding her that firing people was the only thing she knew how to do best. Overwhelmed, Eniola ran out to her car, crying her eyes out. It was all too much for her to handle. Meanwhile, Sam began thinking of what else he could do to finally make Eniola fire him for good. The next day, Sam brought some ladies into Eniola's living room and threw a wild party with champagne and loud music. Hours later, Eniola returned home to find Sam fast asleep on her couch, with the living room completely scattered. Enraged, she dragged him out and fired him immediately. She couldn't bear the staff's misbehavior anymore. In her room, Eniola sat in frustration, trying to encourage herself to stay strong and face whatever came next. She told herself she was done tolerating her staff's bad attitude. But guys, do you think she really means what she's saying? Is she truly ready to go to jail for murder? Well, let's find out. A few minutes later in the living room, Sam walked in and threw her keys at her, intending to leave. But Eniola calmed down, begged him not to go, and, feeling overwhelmed, poured out her frustrations. Sam felt guilty and stayed back, speechless. Hours later, Sam sat with her and gently advised her on how to handle her staff. He told her to learn to empathize and treat them like human beings. His words left her completely speechless. The following day, Eniola gave each of her staff members a document listing their new responsibilities. She sternly admonished them to follow the instructions carefully before walking away, leaving Charity grumbling in anger and Joy confused because her workload had doubled. Joy complained that she couldn't afford to sleep there every day. Sam encouraged her to inform their boss before walking away. The next morning, Eniola was ready for work, but her coffee wasn't prepared. She called out to Charity, who ignored her. When Charity finally brought the coffee, Eniola took a sip, spat it out in disgust, and began shouting. Sam, witnessing everything, politely advised Eniola to stay calm and teach Charity how to make the coffee since it was her first time. Reluctantly, Eniola listened and showed her how to prepare it properly. Afterwards, Sam commended her before she left for work, feeling a bit relieved. Later that day, Yvonne angrily confronted Sam for not keeping to their agreement. Confused, Sam asked why she wanted her friend in jail so badly. Yvonne couldn't answer. She just walked away, telling him to mind his business. The next day, as Eniola was about to leave for the office, Sam called her by name and complimented how beautiful she looked. She was shocked, but secretly liked the compliment. That night, Eniola returned home to find Charity sitting on her couch. She asked her to get her dinner ready, but Charity nonchalantly replied that she couldn't cook anything. Eniola became furious. Sam quickly stepped in, calmed her down, and offered to cook for her instead. Relieved, Eniola thanked him and went to her room. A few hours later, Eniola came downstairs to eat the meal Sam had prepared. She was really impressed and insisted he join her. The two began bonding, talking, and laughing like lovers. Could this be the beginning of something deeper between them? Or is it just gratitude and comfort? The next day, Joy nervously pleaded with Eniola to close work early so she could attend to her daughter. Surprised to learn that Joy had a child, Eniola agreed, on the condition that she finished her duties on time. Joy was overjoyed, thanking and praying for her boss before leaving. Later that evening, Sam came around and praised Eniola for what she did for Joy, saying it made Joy really happy. Then, out of curiosity, he asked her what her childhood was like, leaving Eniola emotional. She explained how her mother had suffered many miscarriages and had desperately wanted a boy. When she, a girl, was born instead, her father was disappointed and left her mother for another woman. Her mother, determined to prove herself, pushed Eniola to be the best at everything, but was never satisfied because she wasn't the son she had wanted. That tough upbringing made Eniola strong but emotionally distant. Sam listened with empathy, They later joked and laughed together, easing the tension. The following day, Eniola told Yvonne about her newfound closeness with Sam, her gateman, explaining how he had helped her navigate her recent challenges. She expressed how happy and grateful she was to him. Yvonne, shocked and disappointed, couldn't hide her feelings. Later, Yvonne stormed up to Sam and gave him a dirty slap for betraying her after she had paid him. Furious, Sam sternly warned her never to try such a thing again, leaving her paranoid and trembling as she walked away. One night, while Eniola was working on some files, Sam brought her coffee and insisted she get some rest. She was touched by his concern. Meanwhile, Charity wasn't home for her shift. Sam pleaded with Eniola not to report her when she returned. Moments later, Charity walked in, nonchalant, fearless, not even greeting her boss. Sam confronted her while Eniola stayed silent, watching Charity act arrogantly like she was the boss. After Charity left, Sam turned to Eniola, impressed that she had listened to him and chosen to stay calm. They laughed and shared a quiet, happy moment together. Do you think Eniola has finally learned patience? Or is this just the calm before another storm? Days passed, and Eniola and Sam began spending more and more quality time together, playing games, laughing, and even going on drives. Their bond grew stronger each day. But guys, could it be that these two, who once couldn't stand each other, have now fallen in love? Well, let's find out as the story continues. Days later, Sam excitedly told his friend about his growing connection with Eniola. He confessed how kind, gentle, and sweet she was, and boldly admitted that he liked her. But his friend wondered, would Sam's father ever accept this new relationship? Later that day, Eniola sat in her house with her friend Yvonne, sharing her frustration about her maid Charity and how difficult she had become to handle. Yvonne encouraged her to either teach Charity a hard lesson or fire her immediately. Her words motivated Eniola, but negatively. Just then, Sam walked in and fearlessly ordered Yvonne to leave, or he'd expose her. Shocked, Yvonne stood up and left, while Eniola, confused and surprised, followed her outside to find out what was going on. Outside, Yvonne angrily blamed Eniola for allowing her gateman to talk to her that way. She gave Eniola an ultimatum: fire Sam or end their friendship, before storming off. Eniola stood there, completely confused. Inside, she angrily confronted Sam, but before she could speak, he stopped her with a sudden kiss, leaving her stunned. Then Sam revealed everything. The deal Yvonne had made with him to send her to jail, and how everyone in the house already knew about it. Eniola was speechless. She thought it was a secret, but Sam assured her that he would protect and care for her no matter what. Do you think Eniola will forgive Yvonne for such a betrayal? Or will she take revenge? One fateful day, while Eniola was working in the living room, Joy came to inform her that she was closing for the day. Eniola was impressed by how much work she had completed and sincerely thanked her. Shortly after, Sam entered. Eniola expressed her gratitude to him for being a blessing in her life, changing her perspective and her heart. Sam, overwhelmed by emotion, confessed that he liked her deeply. But Eniola admitted her fear. Her name was still linked to a murder case, and the news about Bisi's death haunted her. Sam was stunned by the revelation. The next day, Sam went to visit the judge, and guess what, guys? The judge was actually Sam's father. Sam had left home after arguing with his father, who constantly interfered in his life. This time, Sam came to ask about Eniola's case and why his father gave her such a harsh condition. The judge was shocked to learn that his son was working as a gateman. He explained that the reason he disciplined Eniola was to teach her humility, because although hardworking, she lacked patience and wasted opportunities through intolerance. As for Bisi's death, it had been discovered that she was stabbed by her sugar daddy's wife around 1 a.m. for having an affair with her husband. Sam thanked his father, warned him to stay out of his personal life, and left. Later that evening, Sam returned home and found Eniola setting the dining table. One thing led to another, and he began caressing her, leading her to the bedroom. There, Eniola curiously asked how a smart, educated man like him ended up as a gateman. He explained how a misunderstanding with his father had led him to the wrong address, and after Eniola had looked down on him, he decided to take the job just to prove his worth. Eniola was shocked and embarrassed at herself, but Sam made her laugh, easing the tension. That night, they both thanked fate for crossing their paths and promised each other undying love. Who would have thought that love could bloom between a boss and her gateman? Fate truly works in mysterious ways. Days later, Eniola met Yvonne to confront her about her betrayal. Still hurt, Yvonne reminded her about the contract Eniola had denied her because of a simple typographical error. But Eniola explained that it wasn't the reason she lost the deal. The contract required 1/3 of the funds for approval, and Yvonne hadn't qualified. Shocked and humbled, Yvonne apologized. The two women forgave each other and rebuilt their friendship, even stronger than before. The following day, Eniola, overjoyed, hugged Sam and Joy as she shared the good news. She had been cleared of the murder case. The death of BC had nothing to do with her. Joy was thrilled and thankful, while Sam, who already knew, smiled calmly. Meanwhile, Charity stood there dumbfounded, begging for forgiveness. But Eniola ignored her, holding tightly to Sam in excitement. Later that evening, while Sam and Eniola were enjoying their moment together in the living room, Charity, realizing she had lost her job, packed her bags and pleaded with her boss to let her stay. Eniola, unmoved, ignored her, and Charity quietly left. Days later, Sam brought Eniola home to meet his father. To her greatest shock, she discovered that the judge was none other than Sam's father. Without hesitation, the judge welcomed her warmly and blessed their union. The two lovers smiled in joy and gratitude. Indeed, love can be found in the most unexpected places, and sometimes it takes us completely by surprise. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and comment your thoughts in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating movies from us. Till we meet again, bye.